Okay, so this is another game where I got the map Arabia and am playing as Bulgarians. It's my favorite civ for this map because I feel like I have a pretty well developed strategy. Um, I I like to build a barracks, get some militia right as I am going to feudal age, and then have those militia arrive at his base. Um, when I arrive at feudal age, and they turn into men at arms and get some good damage in on his economy and allow me to get a head start to castle age. Um, in this game, I found all my sheep pretty early. I'm still lacking my boars. I figure they must be over here, so I'm even sending a villager to look for them. Finally found them. So that's put me behind a little bit here, but I'll survive. It's not too bad. We'll fast forward through a lot of this. My opponent is Shefik. I've never played him before that I know of. Bringing in the second boar, brought that in a little early actually, or actually a little late, so I had to go ahead and start on a sheep. Anyways, I'm looking for him. I saw this gold over here, so I knew he must be over here somewhere. Almost lost my scout to his TC. Definitely could have, but I'm glad I managed to avoid that. Because getting some scout information is pretty useful, so. Alright, here come the militia. They're a little late. In fact, his scout should have seen them, but I don't think he did. So once I arrive in feudal age, they turn into men-at-arms. His villagers actually don't have loom yet, so they're pretty easy targets from these men-at-arms. I try to go in for the kill on that one, and I run into the TC, so I pull away from that for a little bit. Go back and guard this, which is his gold and wood. He's reacting by building or sending all these villagers over here to his other wood. And I am headed around thinking, well, where's his other resources? Where's he gathering stuff? Thought maybe he'd have a lumber camp down here. He doesn't yet. He's building a tower, which is not a terrible play, but ultimately, even when I see that tower, I don't think it's going to stop me from diving in. I think about it, I'm like, should I go somewhere else? I see all these villagers, though. I know this is his whole economy, so I should just stay here. I chop at a few villagers, then I go right for the tower. He sends the villagers after my men-at-arms, so I go back after them. The tower can't hit me when I'm right below its base, so if I stay there, I'm at the best place to avoid being hit by the tower. I did manage to get 2 villagers in there, so, and then the one over here I didn't get. She's on 1 HP. So those men-at-arms did get 2 villager kills. I've got 28 villagers, he's got 25, so that's actually pretty much the difference in the villager count at this point, is the ones that were lost to the men-at-arms. So now, the play is to get to Castle Age as fast as I can, and then grab some stone. In fact, these villagers who have food in their hands from this deer, I'm actually sending them over to the stone. Once they build the mining camp, they'll drop off the resources and start mining stone. But I definitely need more food, because I am struggling to get the resources I need for Castle Age. I need 800 food and 200 gold. I've got the gold, just need to grab the food. So I'll probably go up after this villager. Finally. Alright, so up to Castle Age. So in Castle Age, I make a switch to Knights. And while I'm on my way up to Castle Age, I start getting the armor and the armor and the attack upgrades. In fact, that scout came over here and started harassing these villagers. That just reminded me that I've got enough stone for a cray post, so I might as well send those out while I'm on my way up to Castle Age, and prepare to build that once I get there. So I'm getting the upgrades for the cavalry, and I've already set the gather point over here where I expect to build the cray post and where the villagers are headed. Once I get to Castle Age, I'll start building as many knights as I can. Alright, so 4 knights. Oop, this scout's running right to my TC, but I don't notice. I decide to build the cray post right there. I'll talk about that in a minute. This scout gets stuck in my wood line, so I just take it on with villagers. But I figure this blocks the stone, the gold, maybe a little bit of the wood if I get some decent range. So that's, I didn't build it. I could have built it closer to the stone. But I wasn't sure if there were units over here which would see it and then deny me from putting it up. I should really get my scout over there to scout it better before I decide on the placement. I did make the move to bring the scout over, but he was late. Now the knights are arriving to protect them, but ultimately, I mean, he doesn't even have units over here, so this isn't going to affect him the way I want it to. I want it to go up, him not know it's going up, and as soon as it goes up, it starts shooting down villagers, thinking that there's villagers on this stone. But he doesn't have villagers on stone yet. He's not even to Castle Age yet. And I'm just now noticing that, so I'm like, well, if he's not even in Castle Age, I'm going to send my knights over here. I see that he must be gathering this gold. You see it looks a little different, where that gold has been partially mined. So I send these villagers over here. He's got a ton of villagers on gold over here, and they're unloomed. And then he sent these villagers out to grab the stone, which was denied. In fact, he'll lose the wood from the lumber camp too shortly. Yeah. So he came in with scouts. He's actually got 6 scouts. Scouts are not a great play against knights, but if that's all you have, I mean, I guess, you could at least try to beat them back. Maybe 6 scouts could take knights. But again, I got armor and attack on my knights. I think he's up to 8 scouts now. Yeah, he's up to 8 scouts. Now imagine how difficult it would be if those 8 scouts were in my base. But because I was the aggressor here, those scouts aren't coming to my eco. And after that raid, I've got 43 villagers and he's got 24. So I'm almost doubling his villager count. So that raid really did do a lot of work. These scouts are doing a decent job on the knights. So he left with 5 scouts still alive and took out my 3 knights. So, but I did send a couple more knights over here. That one just got killed. This one's grabbing these villagers, which still don't have lube. So these are free kills for me. Well, not free, but easy kills. In fact, going to grab another one. Alright, so I really don't know why he didn't get loom. That's one of the first things you should get, especially if you're being attacked. But he's down to 19 villagers after all that. So somehow I got another 5 or more villagers on the wood over here. And with these villagers which built the cray post, I didn't want them to just not be doing anything, so I built a TC over here. The first 4 off to grab the deer. Those were my opponent's deer, but he never got them. He never even got his boar. Meanwhile, I'm transitioning into conics, which is my next play, now that the knights are dead. It would be nice if I were a little more aggressive with using the conics. Maybe send them out now. but I'm still pretty defensive. I've got a 500-point lead on him in the score, which tells me that I have done a lot of damage and I should be well ahead at this point. But 500 points isn't that high, so I wasn't really sure how far ahead I was. But I've already got 7 conics. I got 2 more being queued up. At some point I need to start putting those to some use. I went back on stone. I really wanted to build another cray post over here, but I didn't have the stone because I sent all my stone villagers off to make this cray post. Now I see that I'll have the stone for it soon because I had replenished the villagers on this stone. So I send them over here. I'm going to make a cray post here. That's when I see he's walling off. But sorry, that wall's not going to do much good against the cray post, which can shoot over the wall. So I kill that villager, send the 9 conics forward. Does he see the cray post? He does see the cray post going up. But my conics are going to take these villagers before the cray post has a chance to. Alright, so he's got spearmen lined up, which is not bad. Ideally, you'd upgrade them to pikemen, but those are good against cavalry units, which conics are. But the thing is, even though he's got 6 or 7 spears and 5 scouts, once the conic falls off his horse, he gets back up and fights as an infantryman. And because of that, the infantry do great against the spears, and the spears aren't that great against the conics anyways. They really need to be pikemen. So even despite that, I still have 9 conics, half of them dismounted, but there's still 9 conics. Unfortunately, I stopped paying attention and they head straight to the TC where they're going to get picked off with the arrows. Now, I don't see that town center yet. And I still haven't realized that my units are just being killed here. Wow, that dismounted conic still got good value. He got 2 more kills. 3? 3 more kills after that. He ungarrisoned his TC too soon. Anyways, so finally building a monastery to start grabbing relics. I've got another batch of conics. Should be producing more out of this one soon too. I've actually almost got enough stone for a castle. In fact, now I've got enough stone for a castle. So I should think about where the next castle should go. And I think this is his only other gold. So a castle like right here, that would be perfect. In fact, there's my 5 villagers that were on stone. I drop off the stone and I head over here to build a castle. Now, I should have sent these conics over here to protect. Because these villagers will be relatively exposed. I did kill off his army, and he's pretty well neutered as far as it comes to economy, but he actually does see this castle going up. It's just barely within his line of sight from the wood villagers there. And so he sends the scouts over to try to stop it. He's also got 8 pikes and 5 scouts, so not bad. Those scouts will clean up these villagers. So, unfortunately, this castle won't go up yet. It gets stopped at 59%. But I send the conics that I had off to protect and guard the castle, and I send these villagers, which were on gold, to finish off the castle. Should be able to finish it while he's distracted with my army. In fact, my army may take this fight, which would be nice. getting harder to do now that he garrisoned TC and they're shooting arrows at me, but this castle will go up, and then he won't have any gold. It'll deny this wood as well. But yeah, that castle's going up. He's not going to be able to stop it. And it immediately starts killing villagers, and he calls the game. So that's the way the Bulgarian strategy is supposed to work. You send the militia off to turn into men-at-arms right in his base, and since he didn't have loom, I was able to get about 3 villagers with that, which gave me a 3 or 4 villager lead. I used that lead to get to Castle Age faster, then built some knights and dropped a Craypost outside of his base. The Craypost really could have been closer. Probably could have put it right here, or maybe right here, but I didn't know where he was at the time, and I didn't want to lose the villagers, so I was a little safer than normal on that. And then transition into Conics, which can beat most unit combinations. You think that Spearmen or Pikemen would be good against them, but then as soon as you kill the horse, the dismounted Conic gets up and kills the pikes. So it's tough to deal with. And ultimately, he wasn't able to deal with it, and that was the game. Let's look at the stats here. 63-41, so I lost a lot of units. Remember that batch of Conics that I sent in? It killed off the spears and scouts. Did a little bit of raiding, and then it just went into the TC to die. So I actually got to Feudal Age a little later than he did. He went up really early. And then I got to Castle Age a lot quicker than he did. 71 villagers. He only ever maxed out at 36 because he was harassed the whole game. In a 36-minute game, I really probably should have this up to 80 or 90. But it is what it is.